friends, today I'm going to do a mini book haul. So I thought I'll just update you all and show you books that I have bought in the past couple of months. Well, no, you know what? The actual reason why I decided to do this book haul today is because I actually ended up going to a bookstore and buying a whole bunch of books the other day. I was in a bigger city and I was kind of just like ready to spend some money, just do a little bit of retail therapy. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna treat myself. And so this was the first time in months that I bought any books. So I thought that I'll show you those today. And then also the two other books that I bought during those whole months when I was touring and just not really making many videos and not hauling books. I'm very proud, and especially because both of those were pre-orders. Like, these are literally the only books that I received during that time. That's because they were pre-orders and books that I've already read. So I talked about this in my stats video as well, just the fact that like I stopped reading, but I also stopped buying, and that I'm just very proud of myself. But yeah, I just have a couple of books now that I just really want to show you. So let's get into it. So the first one is A Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. This is the UK paperback. I have the... Oh, I don't even know where it is, if I'm honest. I have the US hardback somewhere on my shelf, and I hauled that in the last haul that I did, you know, autumn last year, and I was still waiting for this pre-order to arrive. It arrived like literally a couple of days after I filmed that video. I remember that. But yeah, this is the UK copy of Tunnel of Bones, the sequel to City of Ghosts. I have the UK copy of City of Ghosts, so I just really wanted to make sure what is in there. Oh, it's the book depository bookmark. Oh, it smells really nice. This is one of those books that smells just so bookish. But I just really wanted to make sure that I complete the set for this series. Well, there is going to be another book, but I just mean that like I will have, you know, the whole trilogy in both editions, because once I start that, I usually end up going through with it. I have already read this. I ended up listening to the audiobook and I liked it, but not as much as City of Ghosts. But still, this is a really, really beautiful cover. I think this one I like more than the US cover. I mean, definitely like the City of Ghosts UK cover more than the City of Ghosts US cover. With this one, I think I kind of like both. I remember this. I said this in my haul when I hauled the US hardcover. I'm a slut for skulls. I just love that shit. So this cover just makes me very happy. And then the other book that I pre-ordered is another Victoria Schwab book in a new edition that I absolutely needed, and that also just completed a set. And that is the collector's edition of A Conjuring of Light. Absolutely fucking gorgeous. This whole set looks abso-fucking-lutely gorgeous together. I am so happy that I own this whole trilogy in this collector's edition. Now, these all have extras. Let me take off. I mean, apart from, you know, just the first thing, the obvious thing, that the cover is black instead of white. And then all the spines of the original ones are white. For the collector's editions, the first one is the first one black? Yeah, I think the first one is black, and then the second one is red, and then this one is this kind of beige color. It's not really white, even though it might look like that. But anyway, it has this beautiful Anoche writing on the naked hardcover. The first one has Astravas, and the second one has Stas Rescon, so whew, love that. And I'm so glad they actually pulled through, because I remember when the first book came out, I was like, does that mean that the second one is going to have Stas Rescon and the third one is going to have Anoche on it? And V said yeah, and I was like, okay, we'll see if that actually happens, you know, by the time those things actually get done, you know, and it wasn't even sure. That's the thing, it wasn't even sure if the first collector's edition would sell good enough for all three of those to come out, and now I have the whole trilogy and I just can't believe it. Anyway, very glad this is a thing. And then on the inside it has fan art at the back of it as well. And then this one had, I think, the Kel yeah, this one had the Kel short story Alive Erased. Does it have any of the other extras? Yes, and it also has the other extras that were already, like the appendix, that was already in the other collector's editions, like the glossary. So yeah, again, just very, very happy to just have this edition and to complete my set of the collector's edition of my favorite series of all time. So now onto the 5 books that I bought in a bookstore just recently, and we shall continue with something that fits to the 2 books that I just told, and that is the paperback edition of The Near Witch. Now I have this one, you can see right here. I have the hardcover. I bought this, whenever this came out. Was this a year ago already? Are we kidding? That's not true. That can't be true. But I absolutely love this cover, and I absolutely love this edition. And the thing is that I love this edition as well, even though, obviously it has like basically the same cover. And I usually try not to buy, obviously, like collector's editions to me personally are a different thing, but usually I try not to buy editions if they kind of have the same cover. This literally only has the difference of the color being different, which I do love because it fits the Victoria Schwab color theme so well. But I don't know, for me it was just, again, like I was browsing the bookshop, I was like ready to buy something, and I just wanted retail therapy. And so seeing this and just seeing how beautiful it is, and like, again, I just love the color scheme of this so much more than I love it for the other one, maybe because it fits Victoria Schwab. I just decided to buy it also because this fucking, oh my god, there's a name. These are not sprayed edges. Or is it? I guess it could be sprayed. I don't know, but like usually when someone says sprayed edges, I expect like, to the edges to have like a full color. This is just a full fucking design on the edges, and I love it. And there's also the short story in there, Ashbourne Boy, and an introduction by the author. I'm not even sure if that's in this one. I should know that. But anyway, just seeing it and being like, I want to treat myself, I just knew that I wanted to buy this, and I'm very, very happy to have this in my collection. And then the rest of the books that I bought are all poetry collections. I know, who am I? Who knows? The first 3 poetry collections that I bought are poetry collections that I have already read. I talked about them in my most recent wrap-up, and I'm pretty sure that in that video I even said that I really, really wanted physical editions of these poetry collections because I love them so much, and I just really wanted to highlight things and, just write in them and all that kind of stuff. And so I decided to buy the 3 Pillow Thoughts collections by Courtney Peppernell. This is the first one, Pillow Thoughts. The second one is Healing the Heart. And the third one is Mending the Mind. I hit myself in the face. That's fine. I truly love these covers as well, if I'm honest, and I love how they all fit. I love that each of them kind of has like a certain topic to focus on, but at the end of the day you can expect a very similar vibe from each one. I did like the first one the most, but yeah, I've already started, just kind of rereading it, going through it a little bit, literally going through it. And just like marking things, highlighting things, writing in it, and I just find it very healing, very, I don't know, I just really, really love these poetry collections, and I really find that a lot of these poems just really, really speak to me and really do something to me. And I never really had that with poetry before, not like that, and certainly not with like modern poetry like this, but these collections, I truly love them. And if you have a chance to like check them out at the library or something like that, or if you have a running script subscription, then I can only encourage you to just give them a shot. To, again, like this is in sections, so there is like a section if you're heartbroken, if you're sad, if you're missing someone, if you're in love, and just like maybe reading a section that currently kind of feels right to you. And you might be surprised by how much you will feel. Again, I was very surprised, but pleasantly surprised, and I'm just so glad that I have these and can just like look at them every time, and again, just write and then, and just like do all kinds of things. I'm so happy. This feels so right, so good. And then I decided to treat myself to a new poetry collection as well. And this was definitely, I can't believe I'm doing this with a poetry collection, but this was definitely a little bit of a cover buy, or rather this got my attention because of the cover. So this is The Truth About Magic by Atticus. Now, I think that this is an absolutely gorgeous cover, but then when I read the inside flap, it says, in this third collection of poems, Atticus takes us on an adventure to discover the truth about magic. Through heartbreak and falling in love, looking back and looking inward, he writes about finding ourselves, finding our purpose and the simple joys of life with grace, wit, and longing. Just reading that, I was kind of like, this is the kind of poetry collection that I want, and the kind of poetry collection that I'm looking for, with the kind of topics that are like interesting to me or that speak to me. And so I just kind of bought it, and I was like, I'm just gonna treat myself. I don't, I'm not gonna look into this. Like, I'm just, feeling it. I just want to buy it. So then later, once I had bought it, I looked at the back, and when I saw that it said the third collection of new and beloved poems from Instagram's most mysterious poet, I was already like, that's a bit cringy. Why did I not see that? It's blurbed by The Times, CBC News, and Carly Kloss. And when I went on Goodreads to mark this as read, because I had started reading a little bit of the poems, and I don't hate them so far, but I wanted to, put this on Goodreads as currently reading, and the reviews for this are terrible. People hate it. People think he's pretentious and sexist and stuff like that, and I'm like, wow. So that's that, but I'm still having hopes. I'm sure there will be a couple of poems that I really like. It does have these like stock photos in it, and I know that people find that cringy as well, but you know what? I dig it. So is this gonna be my new favorite poetry collection? Probably not. And I don't think that it can in any shape or form hold up with Pillow Thoughts, just for the fact that this is written by a queer woman, and this is clearly the perspective of a woman writing about like other women and writing about like falling in love with women and stuff like that, and like that's very, very clearly in this poetry collection, and that's one of the reasons why I really love it. So if you have more recommendations for like queer poetry collections like that, I definitely need them as well. And this, I guess, is very clearly written by a man about women, so it's like, we'll see, but it is gorgeous, and I am just like really excited to dig into more poetry. And I think that this is one of those things that I just very, very much, obviously I'm asking for recommendations, but I think this is one of those things that I just very, very much want to explore for myself, and just kind of, have to make them experiences, have to make the bad ones, have to make the good ones. And so this might be a bad one, but then I made that experience. So yeah, that's my cute little book haul for today. Let me know if you have read any of these books, if you got any of these editions, if like me you collect certain editions, and let me know again if you have any poetry collections, specifically if it's like queer poetry collections and you can really feel that. Let me know if you have read The Truth About Magic or any of the other poetry collections by Atticus. And yeah, I make new videos hopefully at least once a week, so click subscribe to never miss anything, and hit the little bell so you get notified as well. And thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye.